Welcome back to the channel. We're sat with Brendan from Counterparts.
Hey everybody.
How you
How
doing,
are
man?
you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
How's tour been for you so
tour's
far?
it's been good. Like surprisingly good. Honestly, yeah. Like we've done. The UK's always been really good to us, but like a lot of the Euro shows on this tour have like sold out and stuff, and I'm just like that's so new for us.
And here as well. And here
Yeah,
as well,
yeah,
like
definitely,
that,
yeah.
we're not tonight context. That's sold out.
Yeah. Like I think like the rest of almost all but like one date of the tour is sold out. So I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Like I'll take it. It's been really cool.
Yeah, that basically answers my next question. You know, Force being back in the UK and all that.
For sure, yeah. It's now we love it here. UK rocks. The UK's always liked us. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, like the UK's just always been down for Counterparts. So it's cool. You know what I mean? Like like I said, I knew the shows would be good. I didn't think like. I think this is the first time like in our career that I've seen like a flyer where it's like sold out.
Just
like,
consistent over
yeah,
here.
you know what I mean? Like usually it's like, oh yeah, you know, you sold out like New York City and Orange County and maybe like the Palladium in Worcester.
Just
and,
the
like,
places you played loads though.
Exactly. Like venues who've been selling out forever and you're like, yeah, okay, all right, again, but never seen a flyer with our name on it anyway that's been so consistent. So sick.
Any other highlights on the tour so far that have just like been...
Well, yeah, like I said, going back to the Europe stuff, like all the Germany shows are really good, and it's been, you know, like that was great. We're like friends with like every band on the tour, so that's also a huge plus. Like every day we get to the venue,
just boys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like everyone shows up, and it's just like we're all cool. You know, everything just kind of makes sense. It's sick. But yeah. I mean, like. You know, coolest show so far. I think like last night in Birmingham was great. Hamburg was awesome. But yeah, I mean, hopefully tonight will be just as crazy. It's like a pretty small room, so.
I don't know if you did knock him on the last one, did you?
I don't think so. I think I think the last time we played here was. I feel like we did rescue rooms on.
Yeah.
I don't remember the tour. But the last time I remember playing this venue was we played upstairs with Architects in like 2015, I think, like right when Tragedy came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely been a minute. So
Yeah.
it's cool. Yeah, I'm stoked. Tour's been awesome.
And obviously, this is the first time you guys are coming over here with the new record.
Yeah, for sure.
Well.
For sure. Yeah.
Banging record.
Thank you.
I have a copy of it in my bag over there.
Love it.
Scribble
Yeah,
later.
of course, perfect.
It's been out a minute, and it's had a chance to breathe. You get the songs out there.
For sure.
How's the reaction like been overall now? That
it's honestly great. Like it's. I think it, like when we did the private room tour in the States, like the release tour for it, I think that it was so early. Like I feel like we probably should have waited a month to do the tour. Like put the record out, and then it's like have a month and then start the tour, just so the songs like people have more time with it. You know.
You guys have been keeping like busy though, as far as like putting like not just the touring, but like putting out the music. For example, like you did have
For sure, yeah.
You had the private room EP as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, do you see yourself doing that with any, if you did have any leftover tracks anyway?
Yeah,
like,
we are actually. Yeah.
You are?
I don't really know like what I'm allowed to say about it or whatever, but we're doing a split with a couple bands. It's gonna be like sick.
I mean,
like,
you just did the one with Stray as well.
Bands. Yeah,
Did the one with
exactly.
Stray.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of like bringing that back now. Almost. You don't see many bands doing. Splits
Yeah,
anymore.
I mean,
bands at your level anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
when
what
you
I
guys
was
start, when you guys, you know, bands are starting out, they'll, you know,
a
get
lot
their
of
mates,
bands.
get a 7-inch out or something.
For sure.
So,
And I think that's like it's definitely more of like a like a hardcore thing.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say,
like
yeah.
in the metalcore world, like you know, you wouldn't. It's very rare that you would see like two bigger like metalcore bands be like, yeah, I don't know, like we're gonna do a split. Like
make music together.
Everyone's labels like, no, you can't. Like you have to do a full length. You know, that's not worth it if it's not a full length, and all that stuff. But yeah, we're doing. We had some leftover songs from Nothing Left to Love that are gonna come out on a split, and yeah, I can't say who with yet.
That's
you know
cool.
what I mean? But
That's cool. Yeah.
Eventually, everyone will know.
Well,
so.
as far as we should be talking about the new record, but just
Sure.
going to touch upon the split for a second. So, was the tracks that you put out on that, were they left over from the last record? Were they written specifically?
For private room?
Yeah, no, for the split with Shred.
For the well, that was I mean, it was just that we recorded that while we were on the Pure Noise tour, that was just like the cover, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
just
yeah.
just the Somebody Kill Me. But yeah, we played New York City, and I remember we like played. It was like the Stick to Your Guns, like Terror, that whole thing, and we drove from New York City back to the studio, stayed there that night. We like got there at 1 a.m. I was like wrecked and walked in the studio. I'm like, we got to record this Adam Sandler thing, and I just like did it and then went to sleep. And it was really funny. But yeah, that was just supposed to be like because we knew we were gonna put our records out on the same day.
Yeah.
Because we were doing the tour and everything, so we were like, what's like one more thing that we can do to like give this a push and make kids excited? And we were talking about like, yeah, what if we did like a split where we each cover a song? They did Movies by Alien Ant Farm, and it was just yeah, it's just dumb, but it worked out really, really good. You know what I mean? Like it was awesome.
At the end of the day, it's fun, and like
Totally.
like I said, bands, you know, at your level or above, you don't see them getting like creative and like quirky.
No,
like
no,
that,
no.
you know? And it's good to see.
It's
like,
very rare. I mean, like the color of like, cause like we had a like clear yellow vinyl, or like we had like a brown vinyl and they had a clear yellow vinyl, and it's like literally piss and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's legitimately a joke. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, it's always funny to me to be like, you know, like we're at a certain level, and when everybody in our world, like all of our peers, are like trying to be so serious, and you know, it's like everything has to be like calculated and smart and all this stuff, and we're just like, yeah, we're gonna do like a pee and poo color vinyl, like haha, you know
That's
what I mean?
amazing. I didn't know
We're
that.
children, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny, but some people like it, some people don't, but like I think it's funny, so I'm like, well, I'm in charge.
It's true.
So it's whatever I say goes.
Will Putney again.
Yep.
So
As always, yeah.
As always, he's like the go-to guy for like most people in the scene over in the States anyway, because obviously Stray
For sure,
is
yeah.
the go-to guy for them.
Yeah, everybody.
Countless other bands, I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Like,
but,
what is it? Like he does Us, Stray. He does like crazy stuff like Body Count, and
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like goes and does that. Like he just did like he's doing Every Time I Die right now. Ghost Inside, like all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Did the new Not Loose album?
Yeah,
Did
Not
Not
Loose.
Loose. Yeah.
Like everybody is going to Will pretty much. You know what I mean? It's cool.
Is it one of those things where it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
literally,
like,
yeah.
Like,
It's-
Will, he could get you the product out.
Yes.
Like quality,
Yeah.
quality over quantity, really.
For sure,
Like,
yeah, and he's our, you know, he's like a good friend of mine now. Like I play in another band with him. It's like, you know, it's so easy to work with Will that it's like I don't want to go like meet someone else. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I don't want to go meet another record producer and be like, hey, I hope you like me. I'm Brendan. Like we're counterpart. I'd rather just go to Will where it's like, you know, day one. It's just you just get to work and just start. You write, you make it good, and you record it. It's like it's just I'm so familiar with the process now that I'm like, you know, it just I'm not gonna mess with it unless like something happens and Will like, you know, Will's in a coma or something like that and he can't work on a record.
We'll
like,
do it ourselves if we have to.
Exactly, yeah. It's like then I might be like, okay, maybe there's someone else we can go to, but for now it's like it's just Will. You know what I
Do
mean?
you guys like as far as like maybe like the label side, have you ever been at all like maybe pushed or asked to go in a different direction as far as like maybe working with someone else in that, or
I mean,
are they just like
Yeah,
Will's
they
cool,
pretty much get it.
Will's
Yeah,
cool,
like
yeah,
I mean, like I'm pretty sure Pure Noise has been like, hey, it's time for like the next record. Like, are you gonna go with anybody else, or are you just gonna do it with Will again? And we're like, nah, we're going to Will. And
You're
they're
in
like, and they're like,
routine
oh,
at
okay.
this point,
Yeah,
just like-
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you guys were like obviously in the process of making it, did you feel any pressure? You know, following it, you're not you anymore. Like,
Oh, yeah,
was
for
there
sure,
any,
yeah.
like, because
Definitely.
one of the things I've noticed about you guys specifically is that you know each record you put out, it's just you just keep climbing on that like ladder, you know, of success. Like so many more opportunities
Yep.
have just been coming like your way, and it's been
Yeah,
building
fair,
that way,
fair.
like even since like Profits.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
and that record came out, it was like 2010.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
literally
Yeah.
like 10 years ago, like
Yep.
this year.
Yep.
So it's like
There's always like a crazy. I mean, the pressure isn't like it's definitely not like, you know, Pure Noise is calling me and being like, you better make a fucking better record. This record
I mean
better
that
be bigger.
personally, though,
But
like
personally,
that, yeah.
like it's insane. Like I always like second guess the album. Like every time we've been in the studio, I've been like, I don't know if this is good enough. Like this literally might be the last one. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like every single time, and then I hear it finish, and I'm just like, nah, this is pretty sick, honestly. And then we put it out, and we're like, and then it hits you, and you're just like, nah, this is for sure the best.
I mean,
this is for sure the best record.
That's something like all bands go through, though. Especially,
Yeah,
especially, you know, being like the creator doing it. It's almost like you've been sitting on these songs for God knows how long, like maybe
Sure.
a year.
Yeah.
So you've had them day in and day out, and then when you finally get to put them out there, and you get, you know, that reaction, that positive reaction. It's
Definitely,
like,
yeah. It's like that's like the most self-affirming thing I think for being in a band, you know, because it's like, yeah, like we make money, but it's like not that much.
Yeah.
So, you know, if somebody was like, yeah, go sleep on floors and be miserable and all this stuff for the amount of money you make, I'd be like, no. But the fact that we get to play a show and people get to sing with us and they care and everything, it's like then it makes it exciting. You know what I mean?
if there's one people in bands and like industry know, it's like, you know, like metal as a whole, just all the heavy music genre.
Yeah, sure.
No one
sure.
needs to be very bad. You're
Nah.
You're like,
unless you're like fucking Metallica or something.
yeah,
it's
unless
like,
you're, yeah.
you like there. I mean, and you know, there's like bands that do pretty good for themselves, but it's like, you know, it's not like the pop.
Everyone's got
you know
their
what I
thing
mean? Like,
outside.
for
like,
sure. Yeah, everyone's doing other stuff. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, no, it's like I said, the pressure is like the personal pressure to sort of like beat your old stuff it's like huge for us. So I think that's the only reason why we like we try so hard, because it's like, you know, if someone was like, just make a record that you like, I'd be like, okay, but you know, we're in there trying to be like, we have to make something that is so obviously better than the last one that like when people hear it first listen, they're like, holy shit, this is the best thing I've ever heard from this band. And it's like, it's nerve-wracking for sure, you know what I mean, to try and do that, but we do an okay job at it, you know what I mean, like we do all right.
So we just finished talking about Will, obviously.
Yep.
Recording with him. This record, you know, did you do anything differently, or like as far as recording and writing goes, like, or is it all pretty much, you know, go back to the routine, straightforward? You guys know what you're doing, like
pretty much, honestly. Like people kind of ask that a lot, where they're like, yo, like, you know, did you like want to try anything new? And we're always just kind of like, no, like, nah, we get it, like we, you know, like we know the band and we know the type of music that we play, like we know Counterparts kind of inside and out at this point. So it's like, you know, I mean, there's like little things, you know, where Will be like, yeah, maybe we should try and do like a singing part in this chorus and see how it sounds, like little stuff like that. But you know, whenever I see bands being like, yeah, we gotta change this and that and add this like other weird stuff, and you know, I mean, it's different when bands like just genuinely want to do that.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, go ahead. But see it all the time when there's, you know, bands that have like producer, record label blowing smoke up their ass, being like, yeah, like, you know, you guys gotta have like, you gotta like do this or do that and be weird, and like that's how your band's gonna get big. And it's like, dude, no one fucking cares. Just write a good record. You know what I mean? Like just make a good record and put it out, and people will like it. And it doesn't matter if you know, what you wear on stage, or you know, your gimmick or whatever. It's like just write cool songs. That's it. You know, just care a little bit, and because like I think that they like bands still exist who, you know, there's bands in every music scene that are just like whack and like don't really stand for shit or mean shit, whatever. But one thing I'll say is I think that like now more than ever, like people can kind of see through it. You know what I mean? Like when a band comes out and they're like not genuine and they don't, you know, and it's like very obviously like an industry plant type vibe. It's like people just see right through it, and they're just like, dude, like fuck off.
And when you do see them live, that's even worse, because like you're seeing that for yourself.
For sure, yeah, definitely.
And that's when all the smoke and mirrors just like
definitely. You know, you see that, and it's like, I mean, you know, and whatever. Like I'm not gonna say that you know, if someone drove to my doorstep with a sack of money and said like, yeah, this some random guy wrote all these songs for you. Like, you just go yell them, buddy. Here, you're rich now. I'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I think like for Counterparts, it's like we've been doing it for long enough, and like, trying to be genuine and transparent and real and stuff like that. So it's like, this band will never be like that.
Yeah.
Like, if I want to do that, it's like, we'll just break up, and then I'll be like, yep, I'm selling out. Like, hey, anybody want to let me front their industry plant band or whatever? Then I would do that. But for Counterparts, it's like, I'm not going to let that happen. I can't.
Yeah.
It's like, I care too much about it. I would rather like shoot it and put it out of its misery than change it.
Kind of leads me to our next question as well. So like, when you guys are obviously like making the record, you guys have been long enough and put out so many albums. You've got to that point where people will be like, oh, this band sounds like Counterparts.
Sure.
When you guys are writing and stuff, do you like strive to not sound similar to other bands, but do you like write something like, oh, this sounds like so and so, not, oh, this sounds like us, this sounds like Counterparts? Or... Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, like there's always times where we'll, like you said, like when we're if we're like gonna mess around with a new part or whatever, like for example, like the last song on the record, like Nothing Left to Love, like the singing song, the ending of it is like we pretty much took that right from, there's a song by a band called Moving Mountains called like Ode We Will Bury Ourselves or whatever, and the way the album ends is it's just like a couple vocal tracks like singing the same thing over and over, and there's like no music and it's just solo vocals. And so yeah, like I went to Will being like, yo, if we're gonna end the record, like this is how we should end it, because it reminds me of that. And like same as like Love Me, like opening the album, I'm like, we need to have like our version of A Victim a Target by Misery Signals, you know what I mean? That classic like album opener to where you're in the room and it's like there could be music on or whatever and silent, but as soon as you hear like, everyone's like, oh, it's about to happen. Like that's how I felt when I would see Misery Signals and I would hear like ding 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 ding, like from A Victim a Target. It was like I would get tunnel vision and just be like, I need to fight. I need to fight everyone around. Like I need to go crazy. And yeah, it's like, and I think like we would never really use references as like, yeah, like we need like the Counterparts part there, because we would just be like, yeah, like what if we do the thing that like, what if we do like the Misery Signals type thing here? Like, yo, this part sounds like, this is like a fast like part. It kind of sounds like, Propaganda or something. And like, just we always kind of use like the other, like the names of the bands that, because just saying Counterparts, it's like anything, if we write it, like technically
it's
anything
yours.
could be a Counterparts
It's yours,
part.
yeah.
But in the studio, it's like, oh yeah, like what if we do like a X band part here or something, and someone would be like, oh yeah, cool, and then we put it out and it kind of becomes like, it's like a weird game of telephone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's every time somebody, every time it gets passed to somebody else or through another band or whatever, you kind of just add your own spin to it and make it a little bit more your own. And that's all we've been trying to do. You know what I mean? Like we have parts that are like legit, like so similar to parts of like Misery Signals records or Poison the Well records or whatever, Hallude, like all that stuff. And it's just like, and I think that we take it and we spin it in a way where it's like, it's not blatant, but if you listen to Stranger,
it's almost like a reference,
of course. It's like if you listen to Stranger by us and then you listen to In Summary of What I Am by Misery Signals, it's like, oh, I get it. Like, and we were literally,
they like this band.
Yeah, we were like sitting at the studio being like, yeah, we need to write like an In Summary like style Counterpart song, and then everyone's like, okay, let's try this, and it's I think that's the only way you can really, because like I don't know, it like I feel like every note has been played, every part's been played, like every riff is just another riff with something a little bit different. Like I don't think there's anyone's gonna be like, yo, check out this thing I wrote and no one's ever played it before. It's like that at this point, you're dreaming. It's not gonna happen. But
do you touch up on End as well for a little bit? Do you apply any of this to End as well, or is that, I mean,
with End, I don't really like I'm pretty much like singing for Will and Greg's like brainchild. You know what I mean? Like I do all the lyrics and I have like I have control over like the vocal parts and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's just when it comes to End, it's just kind of like I'm just give me like the heavy part and you know, give me the blast beats and I'll figure something out. You know, I'll do something over top of it.
I remember you saying as well. I remember reading in like an interview as well. So when you are writing for like lyrics for Counterparts, and then you like come up with a good line, and then you can be like, I've already used this in Counterparts.
All
does
the
that
time.
does that still apply? Is this still
time.
a thing? Like
I do that with like where in Counterparts songs, like I'll write a part and be like, I literally said that 4 albums ago, like word for word, and I'm just like, it's just like we've put out a lot of music, and I was talking about this in an interview yesterday too, where it was like the guy asked, he was like, you have like 10 albums, or sorry, like you've been a band for 10 years, you have 6 albums, like, is it like how do you feel about having that much material? I'm like, it sucks. Like, it sucks so bad because we have to constantly try and
as well.
Yeah, like, you know, having to choose from, like, there are probably like 100 Counterparts songs that exist, and it's like every time we do a headliner or a tour or something, it's like, okay, we have to try and pick like at least like 10 songs, but then we have to try and play like the bangers that people will go crazy for live. And then
promote the new record.
Yeah, for sure. And okay, we like this tour, it's like, okay, we should do a lot of stuff from the new record, and everything is just like, it's such a pain in the ass. Like, I wish so bad that we had like 3 records out. Right? Like, this was album 3. It would be awesome.
I mean,
but
do you even play stuff off Profits anymore? Like,
not so much, just because like it doesn't really. Like,
that stuff is
no
quite
one really,
old, to be fair. Though, like,
for sure, and honestly, like, if I thought that people would be excited about it, we would do it.
Yeah.
Like, if we play Hamilton or something, or like, you know, Southern Ontario or Canada or something like that, it's like, then we would do it. But like when we do it over here in the U.S. or something,
not many
like,
people know. Like,
nah. Like when we play, like, you know, if we play like John Locke tonight, there's probably going to be like maybe one person in the room that's like, oh shit, they're playing it. This is crazy, and everyone else is going to be like, what the hell was that? Was that like a new song? Like what?
Yeah, because you've got so many albums, you guys, you're consistently like gaining like different fan bases.
Sure,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
like, on each album, because like, I mean, like I said, each album's got like a different flavor.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
It's still Counterparts, but like it's still like changing, and some of that is gonna impress people. Like some people.
Yeah, and then some people that are on board are gonna be like,
it's not like this album. Like,
yeah, totally.
But if you are impressing those new people, that's new fans who will want to.
Of course,
come out
it's like,
and,
you know, it's like,
show.
You know, someone walks in, someone walks out. It's like revolving door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then that's kind of the way you have to like treat it at this point. But I will say, I think we do a pretty fair job at like, I don't know, man. I would truly be surprised if someone was like, well, I loved the Colonel Carious, but I don't like Nothing Left to Love. I'd be like, you're a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like that just doesn't make sense. You know, like it's like, yeah, those songs, like there's songs on that record that are cool, but I don't know. Someone being like, no, like that album's better. I'm just like, it's just not.
To each their own.
Yeah, sure. I'm like, I know there's no way I'm gonna convince you, but like trust me, I was there. Nothing Left to Love is a better record for sure. But you can't win them all. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever. If you show up to a show, that's all I care about. I'm like, thanks. That's all that matters to me is if you come hang out with us and see us live and all that stuff. I'm like, that's all. It's the most important thing to me. So, because that's when I have the most fun.
Are there any bands like coming out of the UK, like maybe smaller bands that people may not know? I mean, you're listening to any UKHC you're like keeping up with at all?
I was gonna say that. I mean, like Static Dress. Like, you know, if you're coming to a show and you haven't heard of them or you missed this tour, they're awesome. I mean, like Renounced is probably my favorite. Like it's probably them.
I mean, they just toured with Not Loose as well, so they've been like. I hear a lot of people like Malev as well.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Like, are you guys the same?
Like, I'm trying to think of other ones. I mean, like, I can't remember who showed me the other day. They showed me this band like Cauldron.
Yeah, Cauldron.
Yeah,
really
that
fucking
like
cool.
that EP was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I fuck with that pretty heavy. But yeah, like it's it's I don't really know. I think that's like in terms of heavier stuff. That's probably like those few bands. It's like that's kind of what I've been. What I've listened to the most.
Yeah.
You know, to come out of the UK and
it's
stuff.
A lot. It's like because it's one of the things. It's a lot harder for them to break America than it is.
Of course,
to break over here. So it's just interesting to like see like how far like, you know, heavy music, like such small heavy music as well, reach
For
you
sure,
know,
for
over
sure.
there.
And I mean,
Like,
breaking into America is like, you know, it's like the hardest thing you're like for any band that isn't from the States.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're from America, it's like, yeah, you just keep touring and you're good.
because
But,
there's so much to like cover. Like,
there's so many bands. It's huge. Like you need the work visas. Like you need them, and they're so expensive. Like starting out. I mean, for us now, it's like it's just an accepted like money dump that we do every couple years. Where it's like, yeah, here's $5-8 grand, whatever for the visas, and we just keep doing it. But for younger band, it's like
you can't. No one has that money. Like
no, it's like you're paying thousands of dollars to go on tour and make hundreds of dollars, and it's like it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, and it's really dumb and it's skewed for, if we're talking like in the pop world, I get it. If the band's, if like Nickelback, like they're a Canadian band, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna come and do an arena tour in the States. It's like, yeah, get some visa money from them, but when it's like, hey, we're Counterparts, like we're going on our first U.S. tour, like. We're getting paid, we're getting paid for these shows sometimes.
Yeah.
Like maybe sometimes we'll get money if we're lucky, and it's just like you need a visa for that. Like we play screaming music, like you expect, like you need a work visa. It's ridiculous. But if you can do that, I think you're in a way better position for sure. Any band that's like, as much as it sucks, like. We made the U.S. our priority when we started, and I mean, to be fair, don't get me wrong, I know like I can drive from my house to the U.S. in 40 minutes. You know what I mean? It's definitely not a long travel for us, but so that should be pretty high up on the priority list for like a lot of bands. You know what I mean? Because it's hard and it's going to take a long time, but once you get it, that's where we're I would say we're bigger in the U.S. than we are anywhere else in the world, and that's where we do the biggest tours. That's where we make the most money. That's where the shows have the most people. It's just But yeah, it was a grind for sure at the start. But that's even cool. Like Europe, it was a grind at the start, and now it's paying off. So I'll take it.
Definitely, man. Well, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Sit with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
What do you want to plug?
For watching.
Like new record and all that.
Yeah, I mean nothing left to love is sick. When do you think this will come out?
Probably like next month or so.
Oh yeah, we're playing Slam Dunk, so yeah, come to Slam Dunk. That'll be sick. Actually, I think we announce that tomorrow. I think I got an email about that. Yeah, and then we're back. We're back for festivals in the summer, and then we just confirmed another Europe thing for October. So if you're not sick of us yet, like you're gonna be sick of us. So.
Keep it
come
coming.
through. For me personally, new End records coming out.
Yes.
I don't know when, but sometime. So yeah. Thanks.
Perfect.
Buy them. Give me some money. Thank you.
Do what he said. Like, subscribe, all that shit below, and we'll see you in the next one.
Of course. Be safe and click the bell icon.
Oh yeah, the bell.
You gotta click the bell icon.
That bell.
Let's go.